I won't monkey with the microphone there. It looks like it's back in its spot. So my name is Jim Moss, and I am the founder and the Chief Happiness Officer of the Smile Epidemic. And I am a student at Wilfrid Laurier, and my why is I want people to be as healthy and as happy as they deserve to be. Smile Epidemic is a very simple activity, 3 or 5 minutes a day, where you take notice of what has made you smile and then share it with the world on social media. Right now, we measure success on a national level based on our GDP. We think that capitalism and free markets give us choice, give us competition and lowest price, but what we really need is love, health, food, and shelter. And if we have those things, then we can have happiness. This is the old me. I used to be about 35 pounds bigger and stronger. I played professional lacrosse for 10 years, won world championships, gold medals, made it into the Lacrosse Hall of Fame. The fans, they would call me the Axe. I was a big, tough defenseman. Sometimes I was even a little bit mean on the floor, even though I was a nice guy off the floor. And then things changed. I contracted a rare neuromuscular disease in 2009, and I literally ran up the side of the Santa Cruz Mountains one day, and 48 hours later I found myself lying in a hospital bed, couldn't feel my hands and my feet, and over the next 3 or 4 days I lost the ability to walk entirely. What I learned in the hospital was one morning a nurse said to me when she was helping me to the bathroom, "You better get used to it." And I thought that sounded like a sentence to me. But then later that night, the night shift nurse came on and she said, "Don't worry, sweetheart, you'll be back on your feet in no time." And I realized that if I could use gratitude to get optimism and resilience, that I would be happier and healthier and be able to heal quickly. So I built the Smile Epidemic, which is a really simple blog where we do exactly what I showed you before. We have people share their smiles. I started myself. So I was doing a private gratitude journal. And instead of writing, I didn't have time because I was back in school, I started to post photos of what I was grateful for. So I say, lend me your smile and I'll give it back to you with interest. Here's an example of children in our life. So 25% of all the posts, we've had 1,700 different people post in the last 8 weeks. 25% name children as being a source of their happiness. If you walk by a homeless person, you'll see them asking for money. But what they're really asking for are the tools to give them back happiness. They're asking for a means to regain love and health and psychological health, physical health, and shelter and food. We've had organizations do it. We've had companies who think, hey, this is a great idea, and filled with a room of guys you would never expect would do this. And then they end up naming things like teddy bears and maple syrup, and by day 3, they were all waiting for the girl to come in and take their pictures, and they couldn't believe the impact it was having on their life. This is my wife, so it works in relationships too. And what we're going to do leading up to Valentine's Day is 14 days of focused gratitude, where every day for 14 days you take note of something about your spouse or your partner that makes you happy, and then you gift it to them on Valentine's Day and tell them what you really think about them. People have used it for fundraising. So this month, or November is coming up, which is Movember, and we're using it as a means to fundraise. And we've had somebody, they were doing a fundraiser for what you'll see on the next slide, this young girl, Lydia. We raised $1,500, but more importantly, we used the smiles to capture messages of support to Lydia. She's a young girl in Waterloo who was struck by a distracted driver, and we sent 250 messages of support. So the other thing that everybody mentions, 35% of people mention food. And of that, the most popular food item so far is bacon. And we now know that on rainy days, everybody loves a hot bowl of soup. One of the best things is what the kids say. We go into classrooms and we have kids report on what makes them happy. And if you ask people just before they're about to die what they're regretful for, the things they list are the same things that children list at their age as making them the happiest. And the last incredible benefit that we've noticed so far is that you can make new friends from faraway places. You make new friends by sharing on Facebook. You find out what makes other people happy. You've got common ground to talk about things. We had one girl meet another boy at a bar, and he said to her, "You're bacon girl," and she said, "You're avocado guy," and they formed a relationship. So why I do this is because I think that we should all learn how valuable your smiles and your happiness are, and that in 3 to 5 minutes a day for 30 days, I can retrain your brain to pay attention to what really makes you happy, and hopefully you'll want to give that away and help us spread the epidemic. Thank you very much.